Hi everybody and welcome to What is Nutrition and Lifestyle Coaching PowerPoint presentation 2. So in this presentation we're going to look at the purpose of part 2, the material that's covered and how it's delivered, and then we're going to go into more depth into the content as the PowerPoint progresses. So let's look at the purpose of part 2. So this unit is going to explore the definitions of health, well-being, wellness, and look at how interchangeable they are. We're also going to look at the skills you're going to attain while you're on the NLC program and how these then can be branched out into varied career opportunities in the field of wellness for NLC practitioners. So there are 33 PowerPoint slides on this with audio, and we have some really nice website links to NLC graduate businesses and what they're doing and what they're after achieving with the NLC qualification. Here we've got the material that's covered in just an index page so you can easily find what you're looking for. But again, like I've mentioned in the previous slides, we're going to look at what nutrition lifestyle coaching is, the aims of nutrition lifestyle coaching, the skills and the tools you're going to develop while on the course. We're going to look at the boundaries around NLC so you're clear about where the qualification ends and where you may need further education, for example, on our nutritional therapy course. We're going to introduce you as well to health and wellness coaching. This is different to nutrition and lifestyle coaching, but this really focuses in on the coaching element of the course and where this came from originally and why we integrated it into our nutrition programs. And then we're going to look at the career opportunities for NLC practitioners. And like I mentioned there in the previous slide as well, we've got some really nice graduate links that you can look at and see what practitioners are doing out there. So let's start by looking at what is nutrition and lifestyle coaching. So let's have a look at nutrition and lifestyle coaching with respect to maybe the areas and the fields that it's used in. And it is relatively new along with the field of nutrition in general. However, nutrition and lifestyle coaching is relatively new, particularly in Ireland and European countries. It's more prevalent in America. But what we do see is a lot of healthcare professionals, as part of their job, will integrate some form of dietary advice into their work with clients. And we see that across the board. It could be nurses, it could be fitness experts, the field of complementary therapies, for example, acupuncturists, homeopaths, massage therapists. So it's very broad, the field of wellness and how nutrition is applied and used in this field. So really what we're doing here is we're creating a course that is accredited and where the focus is on nutrition and lifestyle interventions with coaching elements integrated into it. And it allows individuals and others to formalize their training a little bit more and improve the information they're giving. And we've seen this across the board when we've trained a lot of different professionals, and at the end of the course they invariably tell us that prior to coming into the course they were giving advice, nutrition-based advice and lifestyle-based advice that maybe wasn't always right for the client or even safe at times. So a course like this can be very useful and important to anyone in the healthcare sector. So this benefits the healthcare professional and also the general public, and it keeps the general public safe as well. And it also helps healthcare professionals upskill. So a career in this field is particularly rewarding as you can make lifestyle changing differences to a variety of individual clients and groups. And we've seen that quite a bit as well with students and graduates of ours, where they can see the benefits of applying their knowledge and skills into the field and into the public arena, where you can work with not only one-to-one consultations, but you're also going to try and impact groups of people as well. So let's have a look now at some of the influences on the field of nutrition and lifestyle coaching, and there are many. We're looking at personalized nutrition as one of the main influencers, and you'll see this as you progress through the course and train. where you will see a lot of the skills that we're teaching are leaning towards creating personalized nutrition and lifestyle programs for clients and not generic ones. And you'll find that that's the difference really between the information that the public have now via the internet and other sources, and actually paying and coming to see somebody who's an expert in the field. And what you'll find is a lot of clients are getting a lot of generic information out there, applying it to themselves, and not seeing the changes that they're looking to see. So personalizing the program is a very important part of our training. Complementary therapies also, where a lot of the influences within the field of complementary therapies also impacted on nutrition and lifestyle. Functional medicine is another important aspect of influencing the field of nutrition lifestyle coaching. And if you look at our nutritional therapy program, which is our 3.5-year diploma, the basis of that training is in functional medicine and the model used. Now, we don't teach that in this particular year of training, nutrition and lifestyle coaching. However, you will see the undercurrent and influence running through our material with respect to this. Also, the nutrition and lifestyle coaching course is the first year of the nutritional therapy course as well. So you can see that nice connection and link being made there. Also, and in another good influencing factor on this course is health and wellness coaching, and they are very separate qualifications. And if you've an interest in going on and becoming a coach fully in the field of health and wellness, we do a separate course on that. But for the moment, what you need to know is the nutrition and lifestyle coaching course has been heavily influenced by the health and wellness coaching course, in that we've taken some of the skills from that course and integrated them into the nutrition and lifestyle coaching. And you will see that show up in this unit and also in further units, particularly around communication skills and how you work with clients on their readiness for making changes, for example, on helping them co-create a plan for you. So all of that is very coach-like in its language and in its approach. So it does not go into the same scientific depth as these fields, but does take benefits from them and the beliefs that we are all unique and require individualized nutrition and lifestyle plans. We should strive for optimum and not acceptable health. Nutrition and lifestyle plays an integral part in determining long-term health and disease. And we are all capable of achieving optimum health given the support, education, and resources. And that's what we're trying to achieve here with the nutrition and lifestyle coaching course. So one of the key areas that we're going to look at here is, why is nutrition and lifestyle coaching necessary? So why is it necessary to come and do this course for a year, get qualified, and go out and practice? And I think in my 20 years experience in the field of wellness, I can see how important it is for individuals to train up and be able to deliver really good, relevant, up-to-date advice on nutrition and lifestyle changes that can benefit large population groups. So that can be working one-to-one in consultation, but also working with bigger groups as well, and also presenting to organizations. And I think these are some of the routes you can go down with your qualification that may have a really good impact on either preventing individuals from developing chronic diseases, which we're having a huge problem with globally, and also educating people so that they can pass on their information and their skills to, for example, their children, their family members, and other people. So it's a really great way to have this knock-on effect with respect to getting the world to eat healthier, change the basics of how we're eating, and also develop those skills in enjoying food again, being able to cook again, bringing families back together again at the table, and many other ways that we can greatly impact on individuals' wellness. And I think the last point here is a really good one to look at. If food is the body's main fuel source. It's vital that the body is given the correct fuel in the correct quantities. And the quality is very important here as well. And that will show up in later units. That quantity is one aspect, but quality is also very important. So if we're not fueling our bodies correctly, then we're not going to get optimum health. And I would also say there that food is the body's main fuel source. However, also when you look at lifestyle and you look at stress and sleep and all of that, that can also greatly impact even our food choices and what we are gravitating towards on a day-to-day basis. So let's get into the aims now of nutrition and lifestyle coaching. So let's have a look now at why is nutrition and lifestyle coaching necessary. And I think one of the key things we're seeing is that there is a general lack of knowledge about nutrition out there. And a lot of the time, particularly with the internet, there is often conflicting and confusing information. So you'll find a lot of the time clients will come into you and they have read a lot about a health topic. They've read a lot about what they should or should not be eating. And they've got lots of questions around it. And part of your job is to be able to ground the client in the reality of what's going to work for them, what's going to connect with their goal, how their body works and what particular foods work very well for them, and so on. So it's a real personalized approach, like we mentioned earlier. So it's more gaining knowledge around themselves, what their body needs, and how to live a healthy lifestyle themselves. Because, like I mentioned earlier, information is one thing, but being able to translate that information in a knowledgeable way and in a personalized way can greatly impact on somebody's engagement then with nutrition and lifestyle changes. I've found when there is information overload with clients, they tend to then avoid making changes because it feels too much for them or too much of a struggle for them. So a lot of your job as an NLC practitioner is to really ground the client in what they're aiming for with respect to their goal, and really exploring their love of food, what tastes, for example, they enjoy, whether they like cooking or not, and so on. So that's a big part of your job, as well as that communication. And it comes back to my point earlier on the influence that health and wellness coaching has on the nutrition and lifestyle coaching course, because doling out advice and giving somebody information is not enough now, and maybe never has been. So it's lovely to see that a lot of courses now, and a lot of practitioners are beginning to see that it needs to be more collaborative in nature. It can't be generic. It needs to be very client specific. That then empowers and motivates the client to make long-term lasting change. And that's a great thing to see, because once somebody has embraced that change, it's going to be a skill that they're going to have for life, and they're able to pass it on as well. So the aims of the nutrition and lifestyle coaching. So what we're trying to do here is produce practical client-specific dietary, lifestyle, and supplement suggestions. We want to empower the client to be able to manage their own health after initial help from you, and to help them seek out support and positive health norms to improve long-term success. Now, already if you look at that slide, there are at least 2 points in there that are very coach-like in their approach. Very collaborative in nature. Even the first point there, to produce practical client-specific dietary, lifestyle, and supplement suggestions, that, and you'll see this in your training, is collaborative. You don't put the plan together for the client. This is done together with the client. They bring their ideas, you bring your ideas, they bring their lifelong engagement with nutrition and lifestyle to the table. You bring your expertise as well and knowledge to the table, and together you produce a plan that really works for the client and that is realistic, and that is going to give that person more long-term success. The empowerment of the client is essential in the training that we do. And this again is a very coach-like approach to take. Empowering the client will build self-esteem, it'll build self-efficacy. And when somebody has those in place, they're more inclined to follow through then on change and move through that whole change cycle as well that we teach you in the course. And we also know from studies that if somebody is supported and they have positive people around them, they're inclined to have more long-term success. So that's another area we look at as well with nutrition and lifestyle coaching. So let's look now at the skills you're going to develop as part of this course. So you're going to be an educator and motivator, and this is going to have a great impact on the client, because educating the client around choices, both nutrition and lifestyle based ones that are going to positively impact, that are very realistic and easy to achieve, it's going to be a big part of your job as well with the client. You're going to give advice on healthy eating and lifestyle choices to improve health and well-being, because you are the expert as well when it comes to nutrition and lifestyle. So giving advice is going to be an important part. Doling out advice and not listening to the client is something we don't train you up in. The advice is given and then the client decides whether they want to receive that advice or not, whether it's the right time to implement that particular bit of advice. So all of that is explored as part of your training. Develop healthy eating programs to ensure clients are eating for optimum health. And this is a big part of the course. You're going to learn how to analyze somebody's diet. You're going to be able then to go in and make changes to the diet and create more healthier eating programs that are very client specific. And this is done not only with Nutritic software, but also we train you how to do it yourself as well on paper. You want to aim to minimize the impact of genetic and environmental influences. This is very important as well. So a lot of your work is going to be preventative in nature, and hopefully a part of your job will be to help lower that impact of genetic and environmental influences that can lead somebody to developing chronic illnesses as well. We offer clients strategies as well for long-term lasting change. So factors for consideration by NLCs. So for an NLC to work effectively with a client, they need to take into account the client's food and lifestyle preferences. That is so important to the work that you do. And this is where the meal plans and any other advice becomes very client specific and not generic. So we're looking at specific foods and food groups that the client really does enjoy, and their exercise, whether they like exercising or not, whether they like moving instead of exercising, for example, social activities, connections that they might have, their cooking skills, very important as well, the time available to the client for diet and lifestyle changes. So have they got time to shop, to cook? Have they got time to exercise? Have they got time for stress management, and so on? So these are all explored as part of your NLC training. Skills and tools you're going to use. So the first one, which I mentioned earlier, is dietary analysis. And this is done manually on paper with guidelines from us, and then using computer software. And it's the combination of both that make dietary analysis very effective. We also use body composition analysis, BMI and hip waist ratio. We look at meal planning, so for individuals and groups. Again, with the meal planning, we're able to analyze, like we've mentioned earlier, the dietary intake, and then from there we can meal plan and make this again very individualized. We can actually address maybe nutrient imbalances, maybe they're particularly low in certain food groups that we want to increase. And then also the health coaching and communication skills part. These are key skills that we've applied to the NLC context, and this does enhance the consultation process and it does increase successful outcomes. And there's been large amounts of studies done on this, which is why we've integrated coaching into this course. So the results are going to be a personalized nutrition, lifestyle and supplement plan. So it's important that you've understood now the skills you're going to develop as an NLC practitioner, the positive impact you can have in the field of wellness with this qualification. However, we also need to look at the boundaries because, in essence, we're dealing with a 1 year course. So there has to be boundaries around this to keep you safe and to keep the public safe. And these boundaries are positive. They show you where you can and can't work with your NLC qualification. And I think that can be very reassuring for students who qualify, where they do understand when they need to refer and they do understand that they don't have to say yes to every single client that rings them for an appointment. Find where your boundary is, and we'll give you the guidelines here. And trust me, there is a lot of work out there for NLC practitioners. Now, if you want to go further and if you want to broaden out your boundary, then you're going to look at going on to do the nutritional therapy course with us. So let's have a look now at NLC boundaries. So the first one is NLCs do not carry out symptom analysis. So this needs further study in order to be able to do that. So for example, if you were to go on and do our nutritional therapy course, this would be part of your training. But for a 1 year course, it's not possible to move into the arena of symptom analysis. So this is a referral really in case of something like a red flag that you're spotting in the consultation, and we have guidelines to help you on this. And also the other part of your role is to just stay clear of analysing symptoms. Your real role is to analyse their dietary intake and be able to see how their lifestyle is impacting on their overall health. They're your strengths as an NLC practitioner. So for symptom analysis, we leave that either to a nutritional therapist, a GP, or another healthcare practitioner. The second boundary is an NLC is not qualified to diagnose or treat any named condition. Now, the first part of that is, I think, pretty self-explanatory in that NLC practitioners are not in a position to diagnose a condition. You'll find actually it's the primary healthcare practitioner that really is the person who diagnoses. So it's usually a GP in Europe and Ireland, and I think in America as well. You're looking at your GP or specialist in some way there who'll make that diagnosis. Treating a condition. This is something again that's outside the scope of NLC due to the 1 year training that you're having. You're going to need longer training to be able to treat named conditions, because that involves as well symptom analysis. So they kind of link together. Now that doesn't, it limits you to some degree, but it doesn't limit you as much as you think, because a lot of the work that we do, even in the field of nutritional therapy, is we try to improve individuals' eating patterns, their choices around foods. We look at lifestyle so that there's better stress management, there's more movement. So a lot of the fundamentals of what you do as an NLC practitioner as part of the plan tends to not involve treating a particular condition. So what we do in NLC is we support the body as a whole through reviewing, like I mentioned there, analysing the diet, creating more healthier meal plans, and we also look at lifestyle interventions that focus on sleep, stress, exercise, movement, improving energy levels, for example. What we also do is we support systems and organs of the body. And this is where, while you're not treating a particular condition, you can hone in on certain systems in the body that you feel are maybe not working optimally and need higher levels of nutrition and some lifestyle interventions to support them. So an example here is IBS. You might find a client comes in your door and they have IBS or been diagnosed with IBS, and you're not going to treat the IBS directly. However, what you're going to do is you're going to analyze the person's food intake and make some really good fundamental changes to it that will improve overall health, may increase, for example, the absorption of vitamins and minerals from their food. You might find that you want to balance the percentages between macronutrients in the body, so your proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. You might want to increase foods that improve gut health and absorption. So overall, through this approach of NLC, you're going to help the person feel better overall, and you'll also maybe focus on supporting the digestive system overall, and maybe, for example, with IBS, some stress management as well there, but you're not treating IBS directly. And you'll see in the next slide, there are more complex digestive conditions that we really encourage NLCs to refer to another practitioner with. So hopefully this gives you an idea of while you can't treat a condition, you can do a lot for the person to improve their overall health. And we go into this in a lot more detail later on in the course as well as you progress. So here are other conditions that you may see regularly show up in consultation or in groups. So you've got high cholesterol, high blood pressure, hypothyroidism, PMS, diabetes. So again, you're not treating those directly, but you're able to help support the body overall and maybe support certain systems and organs as well in the body. You'll find anyway, while symptom analysis is important and treating conditions can be important sometimes in the field of nutritional therapy, we're always going to come back to the fundamentals of improving overall health for the person. And once you do the Wheel of Life exercise as part of this free trial, you're going to see that health is more broader than just a particular set of symptoms. You're trying to actually rebalance the body as a whole and help create that optimum health, increasing, like I mentioned there, energy levels in the client, better stress management, better work-life balance, bringing more movement, for example, into the person's life, working with the fundamentals of the diet, for example, improving vegetables and fruit intake, improving water intake, moving the person away from more processed food eating, maybe using more appropriate and better cooking techniques. So there's a very broad range. And if you look at the overview of our unit timetable, which comes with this free trial, you're going to see all of the components of the NLC course that really help you build a great set of tools and approaches that you can use with a lot of the general public. So what you're going to be seeing is it's more complex cases, people who are very much focused on treating a particular condition where you may need to refer them or explore with them, looking at balancing the body as a whole and maybe supporting systems and organs there as well with them. NLCs cannot recommend biomedical testing. Again, this is more diagnostic in nature and you're moving into symptom analysis here. So any kind of testing needs to be done by a GP or another practitioner. NLCs are not qualified health and wellness coaches. And this is very important to know because a lot of students go on and do the separate health and wellness coaching course that we do at IHS, and they can see the benefits. What you need to know for this particular course is we've taken coaching skills from this course and integrated them into the nutrition and lifestyle coaching course. But you can't call yourself a health and wellness coach. You need greater study on this particular topic to get qualified. But you're going to see the coaching elements show up on the course as you progress through this one. And you're not a qualified sports nutrition practitioner. We run a separate module on this. Sports nutrition, particularly for enthusiasts, that is quite a specialized subject, and we do run a module on it if any of you are interested after. So there are your boundaries, and hopefully it's clear for you. If you have any questions, put them onto the forum and we'll answer them for you. Now, I'm just going to move into health and wellness coaching a little bit because it's such an important part of your course that just introducing you to it, giving you a sense of what health and wellness coaching is, would be very important. So let's explore a little bit more now about health and wellness coaching, which I've mentioned earlier is different to nutrition and lifestyle coaching. So this section is really helping you see where the coaching element of the NLC course has come from. So what has been its main influence and where did we get the certain communication skills and techniques that we've integrated into the NLC course from. So where did it arise from? And it came from a course that we also have as an option for students in IHS called Health and Wellness Coaching. And this has been around for a good number of years in America. We've worked with a very good college in America called Real Balance, and myself and other staff members have done extensive training with them and have become qualified health and wellness coaches. So we were able to see the merit and the benefits of that course, and we were able then through our training to be able to pick the elements of it that we felt would work very well with NLC. And because really what you're doing as an NLC practitioner is you're dealing with behavioral change of some kind. So if a client comes into you with a goal, you're looking at a behavioral change of some kind. So it's not only about doling out advice on better eating, it's and lifestyle choices. It's also helping that person get there, and being that support and ally to them, and using tools and interventions that actually help that person develop a very unique, achievable plan. So that's what health and wellness coaching is all about. So there's some great questions here on the next slide or two that will get you thinking about how the coaching mindset works and how it integrates well into a clinic setting or group setting. So these are great questions to ponder yourself, or you can even open a thread as well on the forum and give your ideas and thoughts on it, and get the group actually interacting with each other as well as part of a good discussion. So who here knows what they or someone they know should be doing to feel better, but they don't do it? And you'll see that a lot, particularly with your family members and friends or even children, where you're watching them have a particular habit. You know that they would be healthier or they'd feel better if they did X, Y, and Z, but they still won't do it. And that's a very important point to raise as part of the course, because what you'll find is there are lots of things that get in the way of people engaging with change, particularly around food. So this is a great one to explore more. And as you progress through the course, and particularly when you get to our units on communication skills, strategizing, running consultations and groups, you're going to see a lot of this play out as well. So who's been told what to do by an expert and still can't do it? And again, while you're going to be the expert role as an NLC practitioner, you're also seeing, hopefully in this free trial, that there's also other roles you play, and one of them is an ally role. And ally is really born out of the health and wellness coaching arena, and the ally is the part of you who comes in as a support, a motivator, someone who's willing to listen to the other person's ideas, um, someone who understands that actually the client is an expert in their own health. They just need it drawn out of them, and they need to be facilitated in exploring it. So you're not only moving into the expert field as an NLC practitioner, you're also taking on board the ally role so that you can help that person see and be a co-creator of their own change. Who has been to a healthcare professional and been told to change something about their life? So you'll find again, some of your clients that walk in your door are going to be coming because they've been told by somebody else to come, or they've been told by a professional, if you don't make X, Y, and Z change, you're going to be very, very unwell in the next 6 months. So a lot of this is fear driven as well, or driven by another person's need for that person to come and see a practitioner. Who has been given a really good reason to do it? So you might have a very, very good reason to make lifestyle behavioral changes, but again, you still can't make them. And we see this time and time again, even in extreme cases where somebody has had, open heart surgery, for example, and they've been told if they don't give up smoking and if they don't change their eating habits and improve their lifestyle habits, they're going to be dead within 6 months, and they still can't make the changes. So hopefully from just speaking through this slide, you're seeing that there's a lot of psychology and behavior around somebody making changes. So if you are in the expert role all of the time and you're doling out advice as an NLC practitioner, you're going to find that you're going to lose a lot of clients, and or you're also going to find that clients are very enthusiastic early on with you because they're really listening to you and they understand what you're saying and they want to follow your instruction. But over time, they begin to lose the momentum because intrinsically they have been told by an outsider what to do. So they when that part of the collaboration is missing, you might find that clients tend to leave you. Now, other practitioners in the field, and there are a lot of practitioners working where they are purely in the expert role, and it works very well for a lot of clients. We're just seeing patterns over the last number of years, and myself in particular, being in the field for nearly 20 years, I can see these patterns emerging when you don't have that collaborative nature and you don't have that ally role coming in. So why can't change, or why can't the person change? Because there are good reasons not to, and you see this in the field of psychology, where we look at the pros and cons of making changes, and the pros have to be higher than the cons in order for somebody to feel motivated to make the change, because you're not ready to change. You're going to cover this as well on the course. We look at the trans-theoretical model of change, Protraska, where you go through the stages of change. And some people are not ready to action. They may be in a contemplative stage, they might be in a preparation stage, but they might be ready to action a change. And you can do a lot of work again with the client as part of your ally role as NLC, and part of that real communication and collaborative nature you're going to have with the client, because you're fearful of making the change and the impact these changes may have. And again, we see this a lot. Positive changes can create repercussions that the person even wasn't aware of or is aware of. And that could be that it affects their social life. It might affect their family and what the family are going to think. It might cause upheaval, for example. You'll see that quite a bit if one member of a family, it makes significant nutrition and lifestyle changes, and that then in turn has an impact on the children or the partner. So it's something, again, we explore as part of the dialogue when you work with clients and groups as well, because you don't have the support you need to make the changes. This is a big part of NLC and your work with clients, and a big part of the work we do in the field of coaching, because we know from studies that people who have support have better long-term success rates with behavioral changes. Because fear is not a good motivator. And again, we explore this. Fear may get you in the door, but it doesn't sustain the change. So that needs to be turned from a fear-based motivator into a more self-love-based motivator. And that's again where, if you have a collaborative relationship with your client, you will be able to shift that fear and bring them into a more positive state of mind with respect to their changes. Because when someone tells you what to do, you're less likely to do it. And again, a lot of studies show this. If somebody is told what to do, there's a tendency for them to kick back with it. So this is where in NLC we greatly encourage the collaborative nature, where the client is co-creating their nutrition and lifestyle plan with you. Is there a way to make change easier? So who here would like to feel that they have an ally to help them make all those changes? Who would appreciate that person refraining from telling them what to do, but instead finding out what they want to do, why they want to do it, and helping them find the easiest way to achieve their goals? And this person, in essence, is a health coach. Now, in health and wellness coaching, you're in the pure ally role. That's why the qualification is different to NLC. And again, you can do further study with us and become a coach, and that broadens out your client base hugely, and it really does help your business as well. But for NLC, the ally role has been integrated into your expert role and the role of educator. So you're wearing three hats really as an NLC practitioner. So, what is health coaching? Well, health coaching is a way of communicating and working with individuals to help them elicit long term lifestyle change. It's not a therapy or a treatment, and that's very important to know as well. Any healthcare practitioner can use health coaching skills to enhance their patient outcomes. And I've been teaching groups of individuals for a good number of years now in our health and wellness coaching course, and a good number of the clientele I'm seeing are coming from backgrounds like psychology, GPs, nurses. So it's very broad, and gym instructors, individuals who've done NLC and now want a separate full coaching qualification. So the field is very broad with coaching, and we're seeing the need for it more and more now. For example, in Ireland, the HSC now are beginning to look at coaching as a way of helping with the childhood obesity epidemic we're dealing with. And same in the NHS in England, other European countries as well, and it's very well established in America. So here you're going to see a bit of the influencers to the field of health and wellness coaching, and we're looking at motivational influence. Our interviewing, excuse me, has been a great influencer in the field of coaching. The readiness to change model, which I've mentioned earlier, Protraska, and his team, and how they have really worked on this whole model of change, and how it has greatly impacted the field of coaching and psychology. NLP, or neuro linguistic programming, which again we run as a separate module in the college, and positive psychology, looking at Seligman's work in the field of psychology and how he moved the whole field of psychology into a more positive approach to it. And this focuses on finding out what a client can and can't do at any point in time, strategizing with them to formulate a realistic diet, supplement, and lifestyle plan, being a supportive role and an ally role. So hopefully now, just from those few slides, you get a really good feel for what health and wellness coaching is. You might see where it integrates into the NLC course, and as you progress through NLC, you're going to see it really show up, particularly when you get to running a consultation and your communication skills units. So the skills then that we've integrated into NLC is we're giving you additional tools which can greatly enhance the consultation process. It can help with the client achieving their goals and having more long-term success rates. It improves compliance, therefore increasing your client appointments. Like I mentioned earlier, you're going to have clients coming back more frequently and engaging with the process more. It's empowering to the client, so therefore again your success rates are higher. This is all very good for your business. It takes the emphasis off the practitioner being responsible solely for the client's health and brings it into a more collaborative environment where the client is also responsible for their own health. We are not training you to be certified health and wellness coaches. That's important to note. This requires additional training, but just know that we've brought coaching skills from this course and integrated some of them into the health and or nutrition and lifestyle coaching course you're doing. We're training you to use key coaching skills in the NLC context. And that's a very good point to make and reiterate with you. The ally role is only a part of your NLC role. You're also, like I've explained earlier, going to be the expert in certain parts and also the educator. So how health coaching will help your clients? It will help them recognize the impact of lifestyle choices on their health, understand the benefits of change, identify the barriers to change, realize the need to take self-responsibility and self-accountability around their own health and be part of the decision making. Follow through and change with effective accountability methods, and then by supporting and celebrating positive change. And all of this plays out in the consultation process. And we have a very specific framework that we've produced for students to follow. We have very specific tools that you use. There's a whole process involved in carrying out a consultation, a step-by-step one. And a lot of this shows up within that process as well. So I hope that part has helped. And now we're going to just give you a glimpse of the career opportunities that you can take as part of your nutrition and lifestyle coaching qualification. So there are lots of ideas here. What we found though is once graduates qualify, they go off and they nearly create their own avenues as well. So we've given you some links to what other graduates are doing. We greatly encourage, for example, if you are interested in the NLC course, we can connect you with a graduate who can talk to you about the course and how they got on, and how they found it and what they're doing now with the qualification and how it's impacted on their business and so on. But for the moment, we're going to just cover the basics. You can go into private practice. That's what a lot of graduates do. They open up a practice and they work one-to-one with clients, and they also then work with groups as well. So you can work independently yourself and set up your own business, or you can work as part of a complementary or integrative healthcare clinic. Education to the public is a huge part, and I greatly encourage graduates to do it because a lot of people may not be able to afford one-to-one consultations. When you start working with group programs and do evening classes, talks to organizations, you're going to be able to impact large groups of society. And I think the more NLC practitioners out there doing that kind of work, the better for our society and the chronic disease epidemic we're facing as well. I think we can have a great impact on that. Employment within the health shop industry, and a lot of people get great reward from working in the health shop industry because here you are meeting the general public on the floor. It's a great learning environment. You get to see all of the latest foods, supplements and so on, and the trainings within health stores is very good now. And a lot of time as well, usually there's like a therapy room upstairs, and you can maybe run clinics certain amount of time in the week that can be very useful and beneficial when you're starting off and you're trying to get your foot in the door. So that's another very good option for a lot of you, the health shop industry. Weight loss clinics, we see that a lot, gyms in particular, pharmacies as well. And we've trained up a lot of pharmacists, not only in NLC, but I've trained a lot of pharmacists as well in health and wellness coaching, where they're using that as well as part of their intervention with clients. Contributing articles to health magazines, newspapers, doing talks on the radio, for example. Enhance current career. Again, a lot of people will add it. It's an adjunct to a particular career they currently have, and they don't want to give up their career. They just want to integrate NLC into it more. An additional skill for current healthcare professionals. Now, the one thing that's missing here, and I think a lot of people get great benefit from it who come onto the NLC course, is the self-development that happens for yourself when you're on the course, the amount of skills you develop that you can pass on to yourself and on to friends and family members and children as well in particular. So it's a great opportunity and course to do, for your own well-being as well. And here are some links. So we greatly encourage you to go onto those links, have a look, see what people are doing. And like I said earlier, if you have any questions at all, you can post on the forum thread or you can speak to the admin office as well. And here are just some ways that we encourage students to learn with us. We do it via in class, that could be lecture weekends. We've Skype, so you do a lot of, for example, buddy coaching over Skype. You get feedback from your personal tutor and your unit leader. We do a lot of reflective practice work, video recordings and demonstrations. We have a lot of supportive material. We have a whole toolkit set up for you. So when you go out and practice, you have all the fact sheets, information sheets, and tools to use as a practitioner. And we have a lot of case study consultations as well, pre-recorded, and also paper-based ones as well for you, among other things. But gives you a feel for how you learn as well with us on the course. So I hope that was helpful to you all. I hope you enjoyed this PowerPoint, and feel free to, open up a thread on the forum and just generate a discussion maybe around some of the topics that we've discussed here.